Man, I sure do love Blink-182's music. Oh, hey guys, didn't see you there. I was just doing some text messaging on my mobile device. Oh, what's that you say? Why am I doing a text message in my video? Well, it's the 21st century in the 2000s, my friend. We've had many innovations in technology and, Wait, what? It's 2019 and this device is outdated? Enema of the State is 20 years old? What the hell? And just like that, 20 years have passed. What's up everyone, welcome back to ARTV. My name is John. It's time for a very special 20th anniversary album review of the third studio album released in 1999 by the pop-punk band Blink-182. That's right, it's Enema of the State, and this is a redemption review for me. In just the blink of an eye, Enema of the State has turned 20 years old. June of 1999 was the release of this album, and I initially gave it a review back in 2013, but unfortunately for me, I was terrible at reviewing stuff still back then, and that review is dog shit. Where do you even begin with a record like this? It's a game changer. It's something that influenced pop-punk music for decades. In fact, its impact is still felt to this very day. So many of the bands that are popping up now list Blink and this very record as a pivotal moment in their life, something that inspired them, made them want to go out and make music in a similar vein. Blink-182's original drummer Scott Rayner departed after the release of Dude Ranch in 1997, and a lot of people thought that would be the downfall right there. Oh no, they're not gonna be punk anymore. What's this record gonna be? And then they put out this pop-punk record produced by Jerry Finn, who had been at the helm for mixing Green Day's Dookie, which skyrocketed them. People immediately started freaking out in the punk rock world, thinking this is the end right here. Travis Barker comes into the band, and I think a lot of people saw that as the moment where everything changed, and they're like, I don't think this is gonna work. But at this point in time, I think it's safe to say that the move was right, and it totally did work. Travis Barker had amazing chemistry and is one of the greatest drummers of all time, and some people looking back would probably never admit that, but this album still fucking rules. Jerry Finn did an excellent job at helping the band hone in on exactly what made them work. All of the multiple facets of this group that were starting to fire on all cylinders were brought into an even more prevalent light. We saw the transitions between vocals of Mark Koppisch and his bass lines that really hit these grooves and really got a little bit more in your face, and also trading between him and Tom DeLonge. I think when you think of quintessential Blink-182, you think to those vocals going back and forth. Maybe you think about the na-na-nas on obviously All the Small Things and many of their subsequent tracks, but you also think about Tom and Mark switching back and forth on leads. Pummeling bass riffs and larger-than-life guitar performances are something that really make this album come to life. Obviously, the drums are something that cannot be ignored here, because on everything from Anthem to Mutt to Wendy Clear to All the Small Things, even Adam's song, where they take it a little bit slower and show a more of an emotional side that they hadn't gotten into before. This record has something for everyone, still to this day. I know why it holds such a special place in people's hearts. It's because it does have that key, and it's able to transport you back to those summer days. Maybe you're skating around in a parking lot, you're hanging out with friends, or even if you got into this record 3 weeks ago, or if you heard it 20 years ago on release day, it really doesn't matter, because that feeling of freedom, it's timeless. Who am I kidding? Everything I've said up to this point is a major positive that goes in this album's favor. I think this album is well produced, it's very well executed and played, it's a ton of fun. Sure, it's immature at times, but it's meant to be. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and the writing is actually pretty damn great for what it is. I think Jerry Finn obviously deserves a lot of credit for what he was able to do production-wise. Not that Dude Ranch was really that insanely different, not like it was living on another planet. Maybe it was just like up, hanging around in the clouds, and then this record was what shot them into the stratosphere. This record, along with Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, are where I feel that Blink-182 were at the height of who Blink-182 were meant to be, the chemistry between them. And that's nothing against the records that followed it up. In fact, the Untitled and Neighborhoods are two of my absolute top favorite albums from Blink. It's just that here, This is where you know that they were all getting along. They were in the studio, they were writing these tracks together, and everything was just flowing smoothly. And it wasn't an all the time thing, but you knew that they were having fun doing it, and that fun translated so well to tape. Some people might hate this, but I love the way that Tom DeLonge's vocals feel. I'm really starting to miss him being in Blink-182, because Dysentery Gary, you hear those opening notes to that, or Dumpweed, and so many of the other Tom-led tracks, you can sink your teeth in immediately, and you're just wanting to break free. You're like, yes, Tom, give it to us, give it right now. And all of the drums and everything that just stirs something, they stir some sort of resonance. I just feel that this album keeps on chugging. It keeps getting more mileage out of it. It keeps never stopping because of the chemistry that Tom, Mark, and Travis had. And that's Blink-182. From the very second that you hear those opening guitar notes shifting up and down the scale, and then that bass line breaking in on What's My Age Again, you're in a friendly zone, something that feels hospitable to you, but you also relate because maybe you were in this outcast type situation where you felt like you were maybe not one of the cool kids back in the day. You didn't get it. Maybe you're a loser in college still. I know I felt that. Nobody likes you when you're 23. That's still a line that's quoted very much to this day. The iconic music video that goes along with it is still fabulous to watch, so entertaining. Now, I kind of hate that they tried to remake it on the California album cycle with She's Out of Her Mind, but it is what it is. Got a lot of heartache. Dysentery Gary, of course, gotta mention Dysentery Gary. That and Dumpweed have always been two tracks that really just kind of go hand in hand. They're co-joined like Siamese twins to me. I don't know why I feel that way. They both start with a D. That's the main similarity. Obviously, Tom leads these, and he does feel kind of angry and angsty, if you will, on both. But outside of that, they're not all that similar. They're both pretty fast paced. I just love the way that he delivers his vocals on these. I think that Dysentery Gary's guitar performance in particular, that's something that's so electrifying. It still stands out and jumps off the page. But also on Dumpweed, what a way to open the album. I just feel that they kind of create this tension and then it unleashes almost immediately with a barrage of guitars. The drums kick so hard on that track, and the chorus is just everything. It penetrates the air drums, it grips, and never lets go. The fast-paced Mark Hoppus-led song that pretty much talks its way through things is the Party Song, and that's one that I feel kind of jump-started an inspiration point for other bands to do similar things. It's choppy, but I love the wave that they ride out there. I've always gone on the record as loving Wendy Clear. It's named after a boat, and that's just fantastic. It's something that was in Mark Hoppus's life. I've gone up to bat for it before, calling it one of their most underrated tracks, and I stand by that. There's just something about the kinetic flow to this one that holds up so well for me. The Yearning Don't Leave Me still feels so fresh, like it's hot out of the oven 2 decades later. It was one of my first Blink-182 songs alongside Going Away to College, and both of these are super impactful for different reasons. I think that Going Away to College kind of addresses fears in a fun manner and a confrontational way that's not so confrontational, but I love how it kind of sidesteps that. It's able to talk about some topics, but not in a way that always feels so invasive. UFOs and little green men started creeping their way into Tom DeLonge's mind, as we saw on the track Aliens Exist, where he brought it up in kind of a nonsensical way, like, hey, I'm just kind of ribbing here, I'm joshing around, but hey, really, aliens exist. And now we wind that clock forward, and we're looking at To the Stars Academy, and Tom DeLonge is getting his emails leaked because he's talking to Hillary Clinton and everybody else, and so many people think he's crazy. I don't know what I think about that. All I know is that Aliens Exist is such a fun song. The drums on this track, man, Tom's vocals, the guitars here, it's larger than life, and I love that presence and impact. Say It Ain't So, I will not go without mentioning All the Small Things. Despite having heard this probably 2,000 times in my lifetime, I'm probably never going to hate this song. Mom and Dad still hold the key Instant Ecstasy on the closing moment Anthem, which I truly adore. Another great Tom moment here. but I also really appreciate that this flows into the start of the next record. I don't know if they had it initially planned or not, but Anthem Part 2 kicks off my personal favorite Blink-182 album, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, that came out in 2001. That leaves only 2 more tracks to mention, and I'll start with the less serious of the 2. Mutt is one that I feel you could kind of skate to, maybe at a roller disco. I don't know why I get that overall aura and presence and feeling to that song, but it definitely stings in that way. It's like, I want to break out the rollerblades that I don't have and go off to a skate park somewhere and bust my ass. That of course leaves only one more tune, and that is Adam's song led by Mark Koppisch, a much more somber moment. I saved it for last for that reason. It leaves an emotional scar with the listener because Mark Koppisch was certainly going through something. It leaves a deep cut, and I know it's very personal to him. They don't often perform it live, but they are going to be playing it on their 20th anniversary Enema tour. If you would like to catch that live, it means a lot to me. I still love this song to death. Enema of the State by Blink-182 is now 20 years old. This record is still spitting flames. I think the instrumentals on here are top notch, and in fact, it held up even better than I expected it to. It had been a while since I had heard it in full, but I played through it several times in preparation for this review. I probably heard the record over 100 times at this point in my life, but still, to this day, I'm rating this a 5 out of 5, and I would love to know your thoughts and memories with this record in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like on the video while you're here. I think I might have another anniversary review coming very soon for My Chemical Romance's 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge, which recently turned 15 years old. If you would like that, then please drop a comment letting me know. See another Blink-182 video right here, socials in the description, and I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.